Welcome back to the GSL 2012 Blizzard Cup. We are in our first best of 5. Leenock up against Life, and so far, Life is looking so good.
Wasn't she shocked?
She was looking good too, but she was a little bit shy.
She was actually like really shocked there, like, oh my god, what just happened? I'm on camera.
Well,
famous, Mom, I'm on TV.
That's what Hydra was saying right now. Mom, I'm on TV. His mom's like, oh, the mom queen is just like, oh, Hydra Johnny, it's okay. Every Zerg's on TV these days. There's always Zerg versus Zerg to be had.
Yeah, there's so many of them. You're not special, I'm sorry.
We're living in prosperous times.
Well, Live with a 2-0 versus Leenock in the best of 5, so a very good lead for him. Same was true yesterday against Long Ragu, but DLG was able to come back. Can Leenock do the same thing?
Yeah, we'll see, man.
I feel like Life is just a little bit too strong. He just looks more dominant than yesterday.
Unstoppable today, you're right. He looks more dominant than yesterday. It looks like he's ironed out any sort of kinks in his play. He didn't really seem to make very many mistakes at all in last game. He did have that one time where he ran his Lings into a Baneling. That's like the only mistake I could find.
Yeah, and you know, this happens like...
It happens to almost everybody.
Yeah, it's just so easy to slip for a second. You have to macro, of course, you have to do something in your main base. Just jump back once and then you miss this one time, the Lings, and I don't know. It's just like, in the greater scheme of things, it's very insignificant. Belcher Vestige is map number 3, Leenock versus Life at the Blizzard Cup 2012. It could be our last map in the first semi-final. Let's see if Leenock can come back into the series. Down 2 games, 1 map away from being eliminated in the Blizzard Cup 2012 is our player at the bottom right of the map. Starting in red, there's a Zerg player for Team FXO. It is...
FXO, Leenock.
Leenock. Cheer for him if you are a Leenock fan, because he needs your support.
He definitely does. Losing 2 games already against a very aggressive opponent. Starting to the top left in blue, we have the Startail player, one of the youngest and strongest players that we have in Korea. This is, of course...
Startail live.
First time in this best of 5, he actually did go for that extractor trick rather than just letting his pool finish at 10. Or rather, letting his pool start at 10. And this is the first game we've seen Life not be aggressive so far in this series. Might go for a hatch first, in fact, on this map. The rush distances so far.
Yeah, this is Belcher Vestige, and on this map you have, of course, a lot of options in mirror match. That's always the case. We don't see the aggressive play, neither from Leenock nor from Life. And the timings for them with the 15 supply already. It kind of looks like we're having a double pool for them.
Yeah.
Not going into the hatch first, not playing it too risky. You can actually see a few statistics here. The average play time for both of them very similar.
Yeah, around 18 to 20 minutes. So, on this particular map, we have a third base that's relatively far away. It's hard to spread creep there.
That's an interesting statistic. The average play time versus the opponent's race, so they're basically the mirror match for both of them.
Yeah.
15 minutes against 18 minutes. This is pretty cool.
That's pretty long for ZvZ, actually. You know, ZvZ is a matchup that has kind of evolved into...
That's a 3-minute difference, so Leenock definitely a bit of the more aggressive player in this matchup. Usually, this time in the series, it's not really true. We've seen Life being the one who wants to end the game early and starts with the early pull in both games. And now, of course, they hatch and gas once again. A little bit, I was about to say earlier for Life, it's actually Leenock's tap, my apologies. Leenock with the extractor already, Life just a tiny little bit later here.
Yeah,
this is sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, the gas seems to be kind of the factor that Life has in these games so far. In game 1 and 2, he had the earlier gas and ran with it.
Yeah, this time we have just a bit of a different build. We don't see the early aggression. Both players are happy to just bring this one into the late game. And That's exactly what we are going to see here. Unless one of those players is trying to hit a mid-game timing, we have, of course, always this Ichan-style approach where you go for a very Zergling heavy attack with the speed. A little bit unlikely at this point with both of them still droning up and not getting too many Zerglings here. Speed has also not been started for Leenock or Life. Leenock has the gas but not the minerals. Now here we go.
Yeah, there's the speed. They're not going to get a little bit of scouting information here. Queen was off duty, but she's got 2 Ling buddies, but they kind of messed that up. She could have potentially denied the scout, but he'll be able to click on the gas.
Yeah. And well, in the last 2 games, we didn't really get the chance to give you guys a few information about the recent past. I'm not quite sure if all of you watched the group stage. If not, you can always check out the VODs on GOMTV.net. Make sure that you do. But giving you a bit of an idea of the last few games that we've seen from both players in this mirror matchup. Life was able to defeat DRG just yesterday with a 3-2 in the round of 6 of the Blizzard Cup. In the group stage, he took down Violet. Actually, he lost to Violet without winning a map, but he was able to win against Sniper, which was really important. Sniper, of course, just winning the GSL Code S in a Zerg mirror matchup. Really knows this matchup well and prepared very well for it. And if you just ignore those games, we have still a lot of wins for Life in the ZvZ at the GSL World Championship, where he took down Nurture, he took down Vortex, he won against Scarlet. So a lot of ZvZs just in the recent past. This is a time where we have a lot of mirror matches. ZvZ, PvP, and PvZ are kind of dominating the scene. Terrans are falling a little bit short these days, so this is definitely a matchup that both of them play quite a lot. Yeah,
this is very true. You know, when you make it to the finals of a tournament these days, you're playing a lot of ZvZ, whether it's in the actual finals itself or towards the finals. Now, we have a lot of aggression coming out here from Leenock. 5 Banelings coming down, and Life has seen this, of course, with his Overlords, so he's making his own reactionaries early. This is actually just a ploy by Leenock to get his faster lair. He starts his lair now. He's not expecting to do a ton of damage with this. He knows he's going to do a little bit.
He's already preparing for a potential counter-attack, and this is really smart here. He tries to put on the aggression. Oh, Baneling's not dying here, wasting 1 Baneling life, that is. Leenock getting into the main base, at least trying to. It's close, but now he loses everything without doing a lot of damage.
He basically lost everything without doing anything there. He could have done so much more, but there was like a moment of miscontrol. May have had all his units on 1 hotkey.
But the big point here still being that we have the lair tech halfway done now for Leenock, and he is setting up a defense at home.
Yeah, he's got a good defense with the spine and the Baneling there, so this counterattack that Life is really hammering out right now is not really going to be too big of a problem for him.
Well, it shouldn't. The question is, does he have the Banelings? And he only has 2
against 15.
So he needs to be really careful here, but he tried to set up this defense already when he was attacking, so he expected it.
Oh man, Leenock is in trouble. He's supply blocked, in fact, right now. He's making 2 additional Spine Cores and 2 additional Banelings, but Life wants to take the 3-0 and he's running in here.
He's running in and he's trying to end the game early. Look at all these. Oh my god, he takes down the Spine Core, not going for the drones at all, but now we don't have a defense anymore. And those Zerglings are killing drone after drone. The drone lead right now is currently 4 life, but only by 3. He needs to take down more of them.
Yeah, he needs to take down a lot more of them, in fact. And Leenock, with those 2 Banelings, has a pretty nice defense. It's hard for Life to actually commit.
I'm not quite sure if it was really the right decision to commit this many Banelings to this attack. He could have used the Zerglings to take down the Spinecrawler.
But he has so in agreement with you.
He has the follow-up though, and this is scary. The Spinecrawler is doing a lot of damage, but he kills additional 2 drones. Not quite worth it, I feel, but in the overall scenario, he just has so many. Yeah, it's such a huge supply lead again. And this is in drones as well, 15.
I would be really worried for Leenock if the Roach Run was done right now, but in fact, it's just now starting, so Leenock had to make a lot of defensive Banelings, which was a lot of gas spent for him, so his tech was late. He goes for the Spire. That ends up being his final choice here. It's his final answer. The Lings try to get into the main base. Not able to do this, so.
The thing is, Life committed so many resources and so many Banelings to this attack, and he only killed 8 Harvesters. He killed the Queen as well, and a lot of Zerglings, but in the end, that was not the best trade for him. But paired with his great macro at home, this just works so well for him. He has an amazing lead in Harvesters, and even though Leenock has the faster tech, Life is going for a strategy that could completely kill Leenock. Now he's going for the Nidus network, and he has a few Overlords that are in the vicinity of the main base.
I think
with
he's
the forward Nivers,
yeah,
that's all that he needs.
Nidus, exactly, and You know, I was saying earlier, I was like, I'd be really scared for Leenock if the Roach Warren was done. The reason why is because it was so behind that he didn't make it during that attack, so the Roach Warren meant that Leenock should have enough time to defend. But with a forward Nidus, everything changes. He actually will be able to put that Nidus up very quickly, right in the front.
Yeah. He saw the Spire, that's why he gets all these additional Queens, and the Queens will of course be at the front with the Nidus network. If Leenock doesn't see this early, Life will be there with Roaches, with Queens, and I'm not quite sure if Leenock is ready to stop this.
Well, look at that. That's a perfect place for the Nidus, right at the third base. He's going to sweep into the side, take that third base out. He's actually got his own drone ready to take a third, and Leenock sees this. Leenock's units are out of position, in fact, right now. He's going to lose a Queen at the front.
And the Zerglings are now running in at the same time, an attempted run by into the main base of Life, but Life is ready, and here come the Roaches and the Queens.
He's just going to go right past the third base. He wants to knock down these Spine Crawlers at the front. The Queens, though, are really key here to fight the Mutalisks. He has to fight with the Queens together with his Roaches.
Yeah, he needs all of them, and at home we have additional Queens being built for Life. He wants to have a bit of anti-air, and this is such a massive attack that Leenock has to be really careful. The Queens are a little bit slow, though. Here they come, and of course Transfuse is going to be really important.
Leenock targets down the Banelings with his Mutas. You're so right about the Transfuses. The Queens now starting to fight, but they need to target the Mutas, not that Overlord. Oh, one Baneling gets in.
Yeah, Spiker number 1 is done. The second
Leenock
one
have enough
its way.
Mutas? I think he might.
Well, he might be able to throw this off, but if Life goes in and takes down these drones, then it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, Life still did not start his third base. Leenock's run by actually killed his drone.
Look how many drones are dying. Yes, those Queens are going to be eliminated, and the Mutalisks then can take care of the Roaches, but Life is already setting up a defense back at home, transitioning into Hydralisks, and he killed so many Harvesters. He killed 23. The drone count is down to 30 for Leenock against 50 for Life.
He's still stuck on 2 bases. There's a Baneling run by, though.
Oh!
Life doesn't see it.
Doesn't matter. Only 2.
It was some of his gas runs, though, so since he didn't realize that, he is going to have to start to figure that out.
There are so many things in this game. Life with the Baneling attack that didn't do as much damage as he wanted to. It did a fair amount, but the macro that he had in his own base gave him such a lead over Leenock in Harvesters that Leenock's earlier Spire attack and those Mutalisks didn't really matter because Life was going for the aggression with the Nidus network, a strategy that he has shown over and over again. Then he focuses down the drones while the Mutalisks are busy against the Queens, takes the Harvester lead, and you can just see that with every single decision that Life makes, he gets a tiny little bit farther ahead in the game and is now at 112 supply against 80. Leenock has a sick Mutalisk count with 15.
And he hesitated with the Mutas. Is he actually going to get the Hydras out in time? Barely not.
He doesn't even try.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't even have to. He knows that those Mutalisks can't kill him.
No, they can't kill him. He went into the Nidus knowing, hey, if you leave this Nidus here, I can actually attack you with my Hydras, but decides not to go for it. 4 more Hydras coming out, and you know, the supply is 50 up for Life. More importantly than that, I feel like the composition is so much better. Leenock's supply, so much of his army supply is actually in these Mutas. Yeah. In fact, basically all of it is, and that's not useful against a Hydralisk army.
And let's just look at what we have here. We have now the Nidus in the main base. He needs to scout this.
He'll stop it.
The important thing here is that now Leenock with the Mutalisk has the map control. So Life might have the Hydras, but he can't do too much with them at this point. We need to have a forward Nidus for his opponent, or at least an angle of attack. And there we go. As soon as the Nidus is there and the Mutalisks are out, the Hydralisk cannot engage anymore. And we already have a few Infestors now for Leenock that he's just building. They will help him a lot, but those Mutalisks alone, they are just not able to stop this. But the problem is that Life doesn't get those Hydras out in time. There they come.
Yeah, if Leenock had gone straight for the Nidus, actually, he should have been able to kill it before the Hydras came out, but instead he went for the units. He wasn't able to kill the units either. The hatchery is dead. Leenock is in so much trouble now. Life wants to end this series 3-0. He's coming with not only 16 Hydralisks, but he's also got 6 Queens, 91 army supply to 58. Oh, the Roach Warren for Leenock is almost dead, but that's not important. What's important are these Infestors. He needs to actually use them to slow this attack down, but even if he slows it down, can he stop it? The Hydras have so much range.
The Hydras are moving in right now, as do the Roaches. The Fundals are good. Here come the Transfuses. There are so many Queens, it's actually sickening. There are 8 of them and they have energy. They're using it now for one Transfuse after another. There are so many Spine Crawlers. Life is trying to break through. Leenock has a defense setup that might just be able to stop Life here.
This is so close. All the Hydras doing the damage from the back. The Queens are good for Transfuse. The Mutas coming in from a good angle. But it looks like Leenock is now running out of Mutas. He's run out of Spines.
He has 9 Mutalisks left. And there is another forward Nidus network where there are still a lot of Hydralisks and Zerglings in. He needs to get those out on the map.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have too many... He's got 10 Hydras. I don't think he can actually kill Leenock anymore. He needs to just take a third base. That's what he's doing. At the top right, he takes a third, but the Mutas are going to be able to shut it down.
That's what the Mutalisks are trying to shut down. You're so right, but the thing is, the Mutalisks are now missing at the defense. And the Harvester count is still better for life, but Leenock has now an opening here, and he's trying to use it. This is such a close series. He needs to be so careful against the air units, anti-air units of his opponent. Losing another Mutalisk, and every unit hurts at this point.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, he needs to get those Mutas back. He's trying to stutter step them, but...
he needs to focus, and he does.
Really nicely done. He may lose his Overseer as well. Looks like he will barely save it. No, he turns it around for some reason. That was weird. Ends up losing it. Nidus now falls. He'll be able to get the second Nidus as well. He saw both of them.
Resources lost. Life lost a lot more resources than Leenock. He did not really play the cost-efficient game here, but he had a very good economy for a long time. This is not the case anymore, though. Leenock is starting to close the distance between the two of them. Life also heading into his own infestors right now. They will have a very similar army composition in a few minutes, as soon as those Hydralisks are gone, so the Mutalisks are gone. Yeah, but this also means that Life already has the Hydra tech. This is something that Leenock doesn't have.
He has the Hydra tech. He also has the third base up now with double extractors. He's going to be able to push ahead. He's also got the upgrade lead. Unless Leenock sneaked that out. I think he lost his Evolution Chamber every time he almost finished it. No, actually, he did finish his +1.
The third base is now ready for life, and this gives him the better saturation. The Mutalisks are trying to change that and always dart into the main base, into the natural, trying to find an opening, maybe a stray Overlord on the map that they can attack. But Life is just now stabilizing again, macroing it up, and even though he didn't have the better cost-efficient traits in the game, with this better economy, he's able to afford it and still be 30 supply ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, Leenock is actually trying to find an opening right now, and the +2 attack is started for Leenock a little bit faster, just like last game, but...
And he also has the first armor up. No, he actually doesn't.
No, not yet.
Sorry.
And he's trying to control Life with his Mutalisks, but Life now has enough units to defend. Notice he leaves his Hydros at the third base here, so Mutas can't run by it. Mutas are going to spot this fourth, though, at 3 o'clock expansion and shut it down. There's no units nearby. He doesn't even have to creep quite spread over there. He's spotted by Life's Overlord, though, and if these Mutas actually try to commit now, they've wasted too much time, and now the Hydras are in position. That's what I really have to say. I think Life's map awareness and his map vision is so impressive, and that's one of the reasons why he's so good at this matchup.
Life's game sense is just crazy. But on the other hand, the same is true for Leenock. I just feel like Leenock is getting the worst end right now just because Life is just a tiny little bit better and seems to be in better shape today. It is such an entertaining game that we are currently watching, and it could be the last one in our ZvZ series. This is... I mean, this is really awesome. We have now the Infestor count of 7 to 8, very similar. The Roach count is 15 to 17. And the difference that they have is in composition 17 Hydralisks against 9 Mutalisks. This is the biggest difference. Also the extra Queens that we have for Life that will help him with the creep spread, but also with the Transfuses later. And look at this, another opening presents himself to Leenock and he finds it.
He finds it, and the Queen is going to work trying to eventually kill these Mutas, but the Mutas have too many hit points, so one Queen is not enough. Leenock actually gets away. He wants to target that Queen, it looks like. No, he's going for drones instead. He's going to get so many more of these. This is a great trade for Leenock.
Life was not able to get an Infestor in there to take those Mutalisks down. If he gets a good fungal off, that would be so important for him.
Leenock is down a hatch, but he is up 10 Harvesters with that attack. He was able to kill so many. He's going for a Roach run by with Burrow movement as well. And I gotta say, Life, where are the units? He's actually catching some of these Roaches, but he leaves his main totally exposed. He doesn't send anything in there.
Yeah, but that doesn't help Leenock at all. That doesn't help him. The reinforcements will be there, and Leenock just lost a huge chunk of his Roaches. And yes, he's once again going in at the natural, but Life wants to end this game here. He does not want to go into another round of workers. He wants to end the game. And with Leenock losing this many units now at the top left, also the Mutalisks still being occupied there, Leenock will not have a lot of units to defend. He needs to rely on the Spine Crawlers right now and on good fungals and a good engagement. Life's army supply is much better. He's at 122 against 107, and a lot of Leenock's units are at the top left.
Oh, and so many of them are dying as they spawn here. We're coming out of that third hatchery. It's hard to tell whose Infested Terrans are whose, but Leenock takes a supply lead here, but the Hydras at the back are doing some damage. Thing is, now they don't have any support.
Leenock has a lot more Infested Terrans here. His are still alive, and he is actually able to take this engagement, even though he was behind in army supply, especially in this fight. His use of energy was just way better, and also the position with the spine crawlers to back it up. Life is losing everything here, and he does not have the economy to back it up. This was his attack, this was his move. He wanted to end the game right now, and he's down in Harvesters at this point with 50-9 because his bases were exposed when he moved down.
He has to GG. He's got no follow-up plan. He's got a bunch of hatcheries that are empty.
Life decided when Leenock attacked drone after drone that it's time to end the game, to move down, because he had the better army supply in a good composition, because Leenock lost units at the top left and still had the Mutalisks there. But the defense for Leenock that he set up with the Spine Cross was just too much.
GG. Leenock is not going to be 3-0'd here. We saw this actually similarly yesterday. We had a player lead. Going into the third game, it was reversed. We had it go all the way to the fifth game. We'll see if something like that happens in today's ZvZ as well.
It was a crazy back and forth game. It was really entertaining. Both players with great decision making, very different strategies. Nidus networks. On the other hand, we had the Spire tech with the Mutalisk, with a lot of spine crawlers to save them. So a very, very good game that both of them played here, and pretty awesome to watch.
I'd like to see in this next game, Life with a tendency to be a little bit more patient with his aggression. You know, in the last game, he attacked into all those spine crawlers, and Leenock was able to hold his infestors, and that's where the comeback started, I feel.
You know, Life had a huge lead in this game, and he tried to end it. Leenock just proved to be a bit more patient, as you already said, and the defense was something that Life could not really deal with. Several times he tried to break through, and that was where Leenock killed more, was able to get the more cost-efficient trades, and Life just got pressured up to a point where he said, okay, I'm taking it now. And he could have played it a little bit slower. Yeah, he had a good lead there, but it was a pretty cool game. It was a really, really entertaining match. I'm repeating myself here, but this is exactly what we want to see in a Zerg versus Zerg. And Whirlwind is going to be now our next map. It's going to be the fourth map, and I just hope that we see a similar game to what we just witnessed.
We'll see. I'm really excited because this map has a really open area, not only at the expansions, but in the middle of the map as well. We may see a longer early game here. Leenock is down 2 games. He took the third. Can he take the fourth? This is the